Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today let's compare the iPhone 12 versus the iPhone 12 Pro and see which one should you get. Both the phones have some really similar specifications, so let's get into the details. First, let's talk about the designs. The iPhone 12 has a 6.1-inch screen with the mute switch, volume rocker and SIM card tray on the left of the phone. On the top you have nothing. On the right you have the power switch. On the bottom you have the charging port along with the speaker grill and the microphone holes. The back of the phone, we have the dual camera setup with flash along with a glossy back. Now this is a glass and metal sandwich with an aluminium frame. The iPhone 12 Pro on the other hand has the same exact 6.1-inch screen. On the left you have the mute switch and the volume rocker along with the SIM card tray. On the top you have nothing. On the right side you have the power button. On the bottom of the phone you have the charging port along with the speaker grill and the microphone holes. Now the iPhone 12 Pro is a glass and metal sandwich. It comes with a textured glass back and a steel frame, while the iPhone 12, which we saw earlier, comes with a glossy back. Before we move on into the video, do subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified. So both the phones are pretty similar. On the bottom, the speaker grills are exactly the same. The back obviously has the differences in the glass and the cameras. So you get a glossy back with the iPhone 12 and a matte textured back with the iPhone 12 Pro. These are the differences which you can tell by looking at both of these phones. Apart from that, obviously there is the aluminium frame and the steel frame difference. I frankly prefer the aluminium frame more because the steel frame is a fingerprint magnet. Now the displays are exactly the same. We have a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display at 1170 into 2532 pixels, 460 ppi density, exactly the same, while the only difference is that the 12 Pro goes to an 800 nits of brightness while the 12 is at a 625 nits of brightness. So both the phones are the same when it comes to the screen bezel size as well. They have got the same bezels, unlike what we saw on the iPhone 11 series. Apart from that, I do feel that there is a difference in how the phones feel. The iPhone 12 Pro feels definitely more premium and a little bit of more density than what the iPhone 12 feels. Now this might be a personal preference, but I do prefer how the 12 Pro overall feels. Now let's talk about the battery life and the performance. Both the phones support a 2815 mAh battery and both fast charge at 20 watt, and Apple claims that it charges 0 to 50 in 30 minutes. Both these phones support the new MagSafe charging, so you have 15 watt wireless charging with them. Apart from that, both these phones are excellent with battery life. They will last you the whole day without a problem. Now with respect to the performance, I'm just going to do one app, so let's see which one starts first. Since both these phones have the same A14 Bionic, there is not much difference between the performance. The only difference is that the iPhone 12 Pro has a 6GB of RAM while the iPhone 12 has a 4GB of RAM. So yes, the iPhone 12 does start first, which is surprising, but it might depend on optimizations also. Now let's go on to the cameras. This is where we will see the actual difference. First, let's start with the specifications. The iPhone 12 has a 12 megapixel wide lens which supports OIS and a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens, and this is at a 120 degree field of view. On the front we have a 12 megapixel sensor, which is a wide lens. Now coming to the 12 Pro. The 12 Pro has a 12 megapixel wide with OIS, a 12 megapixel telephoto, which has got a 2x optical zoom, which zooms to a 10x at max, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, again with a 120 degree field of view, and it has a LiDAR sensor as well. On the front, it has a 12 megapixel wide, which is exactly similar to the 12. So apart from the telephoto lens, both these phones have the exact same camera specifications on paper at least, and coupled with the same exact software and the A14 Bionic, both the phones should have a similar output. Now, for the camera enthusiasts, Apple had suggested that they will introduce the Apple RAW format, which basically allows the user to edit the photographs in terms of the exposure, etc., more flexibly than a normal photograph. This has been introduced with iOS 12.3, but only in the Pro versions. Apart from that, you do have Deep Fusion technology and other such details which are available in the Pro models. Now let's briefly test the cameras. Both the cameras are pretty similar, so I'm just doing this small test, not scientific, but just to compare the colors and how the phones perform. There is no significant difference in the UI. They support everything right from a portrait mode to a panorama. All of that is the same. The only difference is, as I shared earlier, is the telephoto lens. The iPhone 12 goes to 5x at max, and I would not zoom with that phone because it loses clarity. Rather click and then crop. As you can see, both the phones are really good with their cameras. They have shot the plant really well and kept all the details as well as the colors. And that's with the camera. I'm sure both these phones will not disappoint. Now let's look at the speakers and let's see which one's louder. I will keep quiet so that you can hear them. The OnePlus 8 Pro versus the Note 20 Ultra 5G. First, let's talk about the design. The OnePlus 8 Pro is a glass. That was the iPhone 12. Now let's hear the 12 Pro. The OnePlus 8 Pro versus the Note 20 Ultra 5G. First, let's talk about the design. With that, I think both the phones have the same exact speakers, and they both have dual firing speakers, that is a front firing as well as a bottom firing. Both sound very similar. Now that gets us to the end of the video. Between both these two phones, I would choose the iPhone 12 Pro because of the build quality as well as the cameras. So if you are a camera person and want a good build quality, a premium build, definitely go for the iPhone 12 Pro. If not, then the iPhone 12 will not disappoint you. It is an amazing phone. Do let me know in the comment section below which one is your favorite and which one will you pick up. And if you are buying either of these phones, do check the description below. As usual, thanks for watching.